Yeah, as Paul said, I'm Dan Spooler. I head up industry affairs for the Blockchain Association. I think I've met everybody here at one point or another over the last few years. I'm here to talk about jobs. Today, I don't want to call it too early, but I think we're just about past the crypto winter, certainly when it comes to the labor market. So I put this chart together for everybody. I had a call with Bloomberg News last week. They actually approached us regarding the state of the market recovery, not just, and this was specifically regarding crypto. So this chart was fascinating once we crunched the numbers, because as you can see, it really correlates. If you look at CoinMarketCap, or not just the Bitcoin market cap, but all the CoinMarketCap, the jobs labor listings have a fascinating way of correlating with the actual prices of coins. So what I want to do today is just want to dive into some numbers here. It's easier. We put together some statistics indicating the market recovery and a variety of metrics that we use in increased coin values, investor confidence, and I think we're seeing a real solid shift in the market and its timing. So last year, 2022 was a particularly rough year, not just for the prices of our digital assets, but for the labor market as well. There was widespread layoffs. Couple that with inflation, couple that with the interest rate increases, tech companies, the risk assets across the board really suffered, and crypto was no exception. Then with the cataclysmic collapse, of course, of FTX, late 2022, our jobs listings data really, it began to hit an all-time low, roughly January 2023. So here we are, Q1 2024, and you can see slightly we're on the way up. We're on the way up again. And I think we'll revisit this. We'll probably have a little more thorough analysis in the coming months. I'd love to do this again. But I think this year and certainly next year, we're going to see a rise. I mentioned that to Bloomberg. The article's just been posted, I think, a couple of days back. But part of the other discussion that I had was with some of our counterparts at other cryptocurrency job listings. So get this, cryptocurrencyjobs.co, they've seen a 50% increase year over year in job postings between January and February of this year, and then a further rise of 45% in March compared to the year prior. Then another group, Crypto Jobs List, said it's seen almost double the number of jobs ads it had in March of 24 compared to just a year ago. And then our board, which we launched, we launched this right in the middle of early 2021. So it's been a really good way for us to track the metrics. And again, we represent a little over 100 companies, some of the largest in the ecosystem. So we have like a microcosm of some of the industry's largest players and where they're hiring, where they're looking. We have had a little over 1,700 postings right now, which is up from fewer than 1,000 just a year ago. And so during the peak of the 2021 bull market, we had a little over 3,000 jobs. So I think the industry's certainly matured. And if you want to switch to the next slide, actually, the industry's matured quite a bit, where we've had now a lot more institutional players in the game that really weren't around. But what I'm seeing from our side, some of the major centralized exchanges are enhancing their efforts to actively seek new talent. Some of the ones that come to mind that I've seen recently: Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini. I'd throw Circle in there. I'd throw A16Z in there. Some of the very large companies, some of the companies that are pre-IPO, let's say. Fidelity's looking to add about 22, as of yesterday, actually, I checked it out. They're looking to fill 22 crypto-related positions, including a trader of digital assets and a VP of crypto investment risk. These are all new job titles that really weren't even around a few years ago. Then BlackRock mentions digital assets in dozens of job ads, including one for a VP of digital assets and an ETF legal counsel. So again, that's just as a result directly of the ETF approval a few months back. And another thing I've noticed, and I'm sure you're seeing this just in your day-to-day life, there's a lot less career risk when it comes to getting into our industry. Whereas, 3, 4, 5 years ago, a lot of the top talent that worked on Wall Street or in big tech, they were a little reticent to jump into the ecosystem, but now they're not. And that means that there's also more competition. There's more TradFi folks that are interested in our space than we saw during the last bull run of 2021 and certainly 2017 and 2013. Just a quick highlight, some diversity of the roles that are being advertised. I'm seeing a broad scope really of interest growing in marketing, certainly compliance, and then the legal side. Business development and marketing, those are obviously growing right now too. That's pretty traditional. I think a lot of times you'll see they're the first ones in, and unfortunately, they're also oftentimes the first to get laid off in a hypothetical bear market. So there's a lot of driving factors behind this rebound, and there's a great future outlook. Again, I'm very confident over the next 12 to 18 months, couple that with the halving, couple that with the investor confidence and the overall economy, I think things are looking pretty good for our industry. So I'd be happy to take some questions. But again, this was just a rough overview of where we're at. But I just want to give everybody some confidence going into the new year. So you have some questions?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good. All right.
So just a quick question. You did mention legal and compliance being two of the bigger areas. Do you have any numbers around compliance now? Certainly when you see the enforcement actions that we've seen and other activity going on, and I guess sort of anecdotal information.
Yeah, so the exchanges are all absolutely beefing up their teams on the compliance side. And then the layer ones are too, actually. A lot of the actual projects, the protocols, the foundations, it's not just the financial service players and the exchanges. A lot of the actual crypto native projects and foundations are actually growing too on the compliance side, which is interesting. It's a testament too of the work that we've been doing with the regulations at the SEC and on Capitol Hill.
Other questions? Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Yeah, appreciate it.